General Milley, he is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He is now acknowledging that because the U.S. has left, there will likely be a civil war in Afghanistan. So we've left that behind for the people there after 20 years. And two, that there will be a resurgence in terror organizations.
Is the U.S. safer today since the U.S. has withdrawn from Afghanistan?
My military estimate is that the conditions are likely to develop of a civil war, and that will then in turn lead to conditions that could in fact lead to a reconstitution of Al-Qaeda or a growth of ISIS or other myriad of terrorist groups. So I think the short answer to your question is we don't know yet, but the conditions are very likely, in my opinion, that, and I've testified this and I've said it in public, that you could see a resurgence of terrorism coming out of that general region within 12, 24, 36 months.
Are we honestly going back to, as a country, a time period where we've got to be concerned at a heightened level? There's still that concern in the United States, but a heightened level of what radical Islam and its followers can do to Americans, what kind of attacks they can be carried out.
He also was asked whether or not U.S. troops will have to go back to Afghanistan to counter the terror threat, and he doesn't know that either. That is not reassuring. 5 days away, we fought the Taliban, this terror group, and Al-Qaeda for 20 years, and last week, we didn't withdraw, Jordan. We surrendered.
Secretary Austin talking in Doha today. Take a listen about dealing with the terror threat now that we have left Afghanistan.
There's no question that it will be more difficult to identify and engage threats that emanate from the region, but we're committed to making sure that threats are not allowed to develop.
I don't know how, because we have, as their excuse for why those planes can't take off from Afghanistan is that there are no assets there. They can't even get into the airspace, which brings up other questions too. Because I mean, what kind of weaponry does the Taliban have? I know they've got stuff that landing can be dangerous and taking off, but I mean the airspace in general, we have nothing there. We have no control. We got no ground assets.
Are we ready? Are we prepared? Are we vigilant for the next attack that Jordan we know is being planned? Even General Milley says that, and I would tell you this: if he's saying that, Jordan, the president was warned of that before taking this action.
They've got a safe haven now, and the safe haven is Afghanistan. It is now, it is an Islamic state, if you will, and they are. Our military is not trying to hide anything from us. I think you could question the timing. Why 12 months? Why will it take 12 months for ISIS-K to be able to plan something in the United States if it only takes convincing one person?
They have a safe haven. They're there. They have proven their ability to execute Americans, as the ISIS-K did with respect to the 13 American soldiers. There is no American presence. There is no air presence. There is no ground presence. There is no intelligence coming out of. And by intelligence, I mean not only the classic military intelligence, but there's no intelligence coming out of the mouths of the President of the United States, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, or the Secretary of Defense. All we get is the idea that we're at risk.
So they're not pushing this saying in a decade they'll be able to reconstitute and these groups will become a threat. They're saying that right now, the threat. And when he's asked, are we safer? He just said no.